مدينة 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 النبي مدينة 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 النبي
مدينة 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 النبي مدينة مدينة That's where I wanna be بدر علينا طلع البدر علينا مدينة مدينة طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع.
Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome to yet another episode of Hajj Arena where we discuss Hajj and Umrah matters with me, Rashida Yahaya, your host. The dots are gradually connecting towards Hajj 2022, thereby making Muslims all over the world to be optimistic towards their religious obligations, which has been halted for 2 years. Today on the program, we sample the opinion of a cross-section of the public about the changes they would want to see contrary to the conventional Hajj operations that they were used to over the years, as well as those pilgrims who might miss out on the journey. And here's what our respondent has to say.
Alhamdulillah, we know Hajj is one of the pillars, fundamental pillars of Islam, and it's been on from the beginning of the religion. The changes that I would like to see happen is strict adherence to the rule of law. If you remember, one of the reasons why Nigeria was banned from going to Saudi Arabia was the fact that we don't do things the right way. It was found out that a lot of certificates, the COVID vaccines, certificate that people go to Saudi Arabia with were actually forged. So the authorities should open their eyes properly and make sure that all the COVID protocols are observed. All the necessary vaccinations are done on time, and all the other preparations should be done. And the Hajjis, the pilgrims, should be educated in such a way that they know and appreciate the protocols, especially in terms of vaccinations, social distancing, and other protocols that will be brought out. And I'm sure if we do that, things will turn out to be well. Inshallah.
The issue for an airline for Hajj operation, they are already compliant. So it's a total compliance, 100% about COVID-19. You understand? And the reason is that you see people flying all over Europe and the other part of the world where they have the COVID-19 more than we here in Africa, for example. So the truth of the matter, we continue with the procedure that we are following for what the government has put in place by doing the test. After doing the test and the issue of vaccination, you understand? So all this have to be done. And I think the Saudi Arabian authority have to open up. As far as people are having vaccination and so on and so on, the one they have tested that he have not done it, he can take it there. It's as simple as ABCD. The economy have to be open. Religions, Muslims have to be allowed to go and perform Hajj, as Prophet Muhammad mentioned it to us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think that's what we have to work together as a team.
Well, to be honest, there are many stakeholders involved in this venture, basically, from the pilgrims themselves to the Saudi authorities to the local Nigerian authorities that have been charged with organizing and making sure that everything goes smoothly, basically. On the part of the pilgrims themselves, I think they should be more attentive to issues, associated with taking precautionary measures as regards to the to the COVID-19 protocol, basically. That's one. Two, they need to make sure that, they need to be reminded that they are representing themselves. They are going to a foreign land, they are ambassadors of their own countries, so they need to behave themselves, basically, in a very good way. With regards to the local Nigerian authority that had been charged with making sure that everything goes well, I think they need to be more mindful about the fact that they are entrusted with a position of leadership, and they have to make sure that in terms of accommodation, in terms of logistics involved, and in terms of everything that our pilgrims need to carry out the duties of Hajj in a good and lawful way is ensured, basically. So with regards to the Saudi authorities, maybe I think they are really trying, and maybe they need to do a little more in terms of making sure that the atmosphere is made conducive for all the visitors, because we are talking about millions of people that are coming to perform this Hajj.
One of the 5 pillars of Islam, every Muslim wants to go to Hajj in order to achieve that remaining part of 5 pillars of Islam. So issue of Hajj, new from my own side, has so many things for the Hajj Commission to adjust or to make it right. I'm regular attendant of Hajj. I do go Hajj every year, and I have been observing so many things, especially how the Nigerian representative, how they misuse the opportunity given to them. You see, issue of let me start one example, like the day of Arafat. After day of Arafat, when a pilgrimage person left Arafat to Jamra, after Jamrat, then he goes straight to Mecca for his Nawafil Ifara. So after that, Nawafil Ifara, so normally our people, they are on their own. So from that time, government don't have any support for them. You are the one who take yourself back to Mina. After that remaining days of the Mina's days, coming back to Mecca, you are on your own. So I want the Hajj Commission, to make things right, that Al-Hajj to be, to be controlled from the starting to the end of the Hajj operation.
Changes that have taken place. But when it comes to Hajj, it's not something that ordinary human being can keep on deciding. It's something that is God that we're worshiping there. And to me, as you are interviewing me today, and there is an international mission. Those people really, they don't want this Hajj to be continued. That's the mainly reason why they introduced that they used to call it COVID-19. And look at what happened like a few months ago. I think France government, they delegate some delegation to Saudi Arabia for them to go and see how they can stop the third one. Already we have experience of 2019, I think 2020 and 2021, and now they have succeeded. They still want to succeed this 2022. So immediately delegation left Saudi Arabia, they even stopped Umrah, visiting Umrah. So now, from my own observation and advice to Saudi government, let them be standstill on this issue of Hajj and Umrah. That place is not only belong to their own kingdom. It's something that people all over the world are worshiping God. We have a lot of people that want to cause obstacles for Muslims to stop going there, and I've seen no reason for them to stop.
And still I'm advising to the Prince of Saudi that he's always conniving with the international people that doesn't want Islam to progress. Because from my own observation, these people, they are always trying to connive with them for them to stop this.
And I also hope they'll take the necessary measures that's relating to the COVID-19. And although initially I thought Hajj wasn't going to hold, but since it's actually going to hold, I'm happy to hear that. So I wish all the pilgrims a wonderful and successful Hajj.
Because of due to the COVID-19, we lose a lot as a Muslim. Because being in Mecca, in Umrah or Hajj, is where we ask Allah for forgiveness, and is where in all world there is not a special place like Mecca. In the whole world is the center, you understand, and is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if a Muslim can be able to lose the opportunity for going there, I think it's a great lose.
Of this COVID-19, and it has deprived so many people from going to Hajj, having that they have intention of performing this Hajj at once, but this COVID-19 has not been really discouraging people. But this arena that you are bringing up now will encourage people to come up to see how they can engage themselves and get enlightened, so that they can have the opportunity to perform this Hajj.
Call of Allah. Even if you're the person who is giving out the seats and everything, if they are not called, you'll not be able to make it. But my candid advice would be for those who have been to please kindly give chance to those who have not done it. And but inshallah, everybody will go. The competition is there, but the person who would go would have been the one that has been selected by Allah to perform.
Obeying the rules. Do you understand? There is a rule already in place. Our people, not today, they started going to Hajj. So they know all the rules. And you know it's a religious something which you have to read and so on and so on. So, and you have so many malams who normally teach people about the performing of Hajj. At the end of the day, is following the rule and regulation by the government, established by the government. And Nigerians, we are people who obey law. Do you understand why it has come to that? Especially, it's just a section of the people, a particular religious group who normally go for those Umrah and Hajj. So they know what they should have done. Do you understand? Yes. And they will follow the rule. Whatever the government do, and we believe that we'll sit down and set up a kind of system that will assist our people in the village and so on and so on, by educating them how they are going to have this particular COVID-19 vaccination and so on and so on.
History has shown us that this is not the first time Hajj is not being performed. It's like the second or third time. In fact, there are many times before, for one reason or the other, Hajj was not performed, it was suspended basically. So I know people are very eager because they have missed the last 2 years basically. So we as Muslims, we know that it's only those who answered Allah's call will go to perform Hajj. So if you go there, you have to know that you are a guest of Allah and His Prophet basically. So you have to be, that patience has to come. It's part of the ibadah, it's part of the worship. If you are not patient enough, you may end up, losing the good part of it. You may end up, throwing out everything basically. So you have to have that patience. You have to be composed basically, because you are going, to attain, to answer the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That patience is very, very necessary, because if you are not careful, you may not get what is planned for wherever possible.
Ambassador of our country, Nigeria, if we can, in African countries, we are the majority of who has a major pilgrimage people. So I want them to be ambassador of Nigeria, to behave well. In any situation, they have any problem, they ask questions. If they don't know anything, when they go to a place where they want to know, they asked. So thank you very much.
Something that will even trigger everybody, so that the world will be at peace. Apart from the peace, then people will be happy. to come in freely without, hopefully, inshallah, what we are hoping this year, inshallah, we'll hope that the pandemic or whatever is going to be over so that everywhere will be open and the masses or the whatever will be freely to perform their Hajj or an Umrah as well.
To me, the changes I want is that we should be allowed to go, because that is where we are going to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take away the COVID-19. Understand? For we not going there, I think it's also causing an harm. Understand? To me. Understand? That is it.
Although I have not attended any arena before, but I see that it is a positive move to gather people and give them some sort of knowledge on how to go about, especially this period that we are not really comfortable with these diseases that are ravaging the world. Your team will have to get people involved, go to maybe the rural areas and get them invited to this arena so that they will be aware of the activity that will be going on for the coming Hajj.
Masha Allah, you've heard the different opinions from the people about the changes they would want to see in terms of Hajj 2022 from the authorities, pilgrims, as well as Saudi Arabia itself. So, if you haven't joined this arena yet, kindly do so by subscribing to our channel in order to follow our weekly information as we bring it to you. Please follow us on our various social media handles. Thank you for watching. Until I come your way again next week with yet another interesting package, I remain yours, Rashida Yahaya, saying Ma'assalam.